Your cat's meow. If your pet is indeed like most cats, those vocalizations are probably like Baskin-Robbins, the famous ice cream shop in the United States. 31 flavors. Since cats will never be able to truly speak our language, they depend on body language and some rather impressive vocal gymnastics to be able to get their point across. And while it's up to us to read the cues and get the messages, felines have quite the bag of tricks when it comes to adjusting the pitch and the tone of their meows to suit most any moment and any occasion. What they want, what they need. In today's material, we will go through some of those vocal gymnastics, those routines, and provide you with a few notable reasons why your cat could be altering that meow from the normal baseline that you have come to know and expect. Interesting topic. Stay tuned, and no, I won't be meowing. Since the introduction essentially put this first reason for changing meows right there on the tee for the perfect drive on the 18th hole, let's go ahead and talk about it. Drum roll, communication. Yep, cats are more or less expression artists, and like some people, they can change their vocal tone and pitch to match the occasion. Keep your ears perked up and listen for anything and everything that changes from your cat's baseline meow. For example, if your pet is in need of the essentials, food and water, your cat's normal meow could sound the same but have a bit more force behind it, more meaning, more pronounced. This is done in an effort to get noticed, to stand out. The needy meow could be rather constant until that need is met. And the longer it goes, the meow could take on even a hint of frustration, more deliberate. The time in between meows, much shorter. As for the anxious cat, the feline that is a bit on edge, the vocalizations are a bit more chaotic, less filtered, higher register, yet quite sharper. If your cat is in trouble or senses there could be trouble, listen up for what could be described as the panic meow. If absolute fear sets in, and I'll touch on this one a bit later in a bit more detail, but blatant yowling could be the vocal result. The sound, especially if consistent, is downright unmistakable. If a cat is yowling, the sound could almost rival the intensity of an aggressive dog barking. Yowling at its pinnacle is pretty much the equivalent of a scream. One of my cats, unfortunately, when he is placed in a cat carrier for transport, it never fails. You will need your ear plugs. Now, outside of using the vocals to communicate messages, those are all important wants and needs. Depending on how old your cat is, your pet's meow could, and in fact likely will, change over time as your pet ages. Just like people, as cats age and mature, those vocals will become richer and have more texture. Your cat will be able to adjust that voice and change those tones with ease as the years press on. Kittens, for the most part, are known for that higher register. Softer tones, but certainly that higher register. Adult felines are more vocally mature and dynamic, while senior cats, that voice can become rather hoarse and strained due to a full life well lived. Everything here, these are changes in meows that have nothing to do with sending a message and everything to do with the stages of life. Of course, you can't talk about the life of a cat, any cat, without addressing personality. Your cat's meow, even when sending a message and giving you a bit of variety, because of it, your pet is still very much a one of one. Your cat's meow has a signature. Just like people, your voice is your very own. So much of your cat's vocal delivery has to do with personality. I mean, we could all say the same sentence, but the spin we put on it, that flavor, it has less to do with our vocal cords and more to do with who we are. The same is true for cats. In addition to personality, there are a host of external factors that can play a role in your cat's meow changing and somewhat shifting over time. Depending on the company that your pet keeps, those meows will change at the appropriate times. The same is true for distance and being outdoors. The meow that you hear when your cat is on the sofa next to you could be quite different than the meow your pet unleashes when they're in the backyard and you are several feet away. The environment, other people around, other animals around, it all adds up. As an example, remember when you were young and you had a teacher or your parents to stress the importance of using your inside voice. I think we've all heard that said at least once in our younger days. We're going shopping. Use your inside voice. That's pretty much the same with the feline meow. How it sounds can be communication-based, but it can also have something to do with the setting, the current environment, the environment in any given moment. The calmer and more relaxed the meow, that's typically reserved for those that the cats trust the most. Sprinkle in some purring and you're getting the best that your cat has to offer. And before I close things out for this video, I want to speak on your cat's general health, how they're feeling at any given time. Earlier I mentioned yowling and promised a revisit, unfortunately a health matter. Perhaps an urgent health matter that can spark yowling. If your cat is in pain and discomfort, physically ill, vomiting, yowling can be a communication tool designed for the obvious, the unfortunate obvious. When it comes to changes in meows, especially if we're talking stark and drastic changes, it really doesn't get much more obvious than a cat in serious need. If a feline has been injured, is sick, the situation is urgent. A cat will release all types of sounds. Distress signals, that's probably the best term for these types of meows. And being that we are, in fact, senior cat wellness, some felines, especially cats in those golden years, they can suffer mentally and become quite confused. Even in the middle of an environment they used to know and love, perhaps your living room. Yowling in the night is not uncommon if an elderly cat is in the grips of significant cognitive decline. To the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, does your cat seem to have a whole basket of meows that are used as forms of communication and just general signals in various environmental settings? Have you learned to memorize your cat's playbook? Are you quite keen on what your pet is saying and what they want and need based on the tone and the pitch, the frequency, the intensity? If you have a few stories to share about your meowy cat and just some general thoughts on this topic as a whole, that comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.